I could not be more thrilled to introduce my very first guest to the Penthouse podcast. She is a very good friend of mine. She's a mother of two. She's an absolutely amazing wife. She's originally from Wilmington, grew up in Wrightsville Beach. She has a great reputation here. Everybody, if you know Laura, you love Laura. I knew Laura before she was married to Eric Trump, and I just really wanted people to get a good insight of the Laura Unesca that I knew. I could not be more happy for her. I'm so happy to have her on as my first guest. Oh my God, let's just go right into it. So actually, you got to tell me this Tucker Carlson thing. Like, it seems like the shit hit the fan the other day, and I thought we should be celebrating because there's no more Don Lemon. Yay! Like, he's out of there.
Yeah, like the only person I think who was more upset about Tucker Carlson leaving Fox News than Tucker was actually Don Lemon, because to be honest, like, all the wind was taken out of Don Lemon's sails. He thought that everyone was going to be like boo-hooing all day. He would be headline news, and he kind of like got buried, of course. Because truthfully, like, look, Tucker Carlson is such an incredibly strong voice for the conservative side of the aisle. He's been around for so long. I think so many people really respect what he says, and he's always been very forward and honest with his opinions. Sometimes people like them, sometimes people don't. And so I think he's a voice that will truly be missed at Fox. There's no doubt wherever he goes, he's going to have people follow him, and I think he'll be a great success no matter what ultimately happens to him. But yeah, what a crazy day. And I mean, who would have
hot
expected?
Off the press.
Yeah, really.
It's how much I don't even watch. I don't watch a lot of TV. I follow you, of course, but like,
of course,
I got in here, and Tyler, one of the producers, he's like filling me in on all this stuff, and I'm like, what? Don Lemon? Like, that was like, I guess yesterday this happened.
Yeah.
Like, we should be toasting, because he's like, I don't know. I was like not a big fan anyway. He was a bit arrogant, and you know, it just didn't make me want to watch CNN at all, honestly.
Well, and the funny thing is, like, okay, so Tucker left Fox. Tucker, of course, had the 8 o'clock spot, probably the most watched host on Fox News, obviously. And then you had Don Lemon, who they really have kind of tried to figure out what to do with for a long time at CNN, right? Like, yeah. he had a show in the evening, and then they were like, you know what, no one's really tuning in for this, and we're not really like sure what to do with you, so let's stick you first thing in the morning with a couple of ladies. And then that didn't pan out, and he was obviously very condescending and sort of nasty, said a lot of things that were really not great, I don't think, for him. And so I guess kudos finally to someone over at CNN for being like, you know what, enough. Yeah. Enough
is enough. But I also just I'd love to go and, you know, you're from Wilmington. You are raised in Wrightsville Beach.
Yeah.
I have a great relationship with your parents. I love them.
Aww,
your brother Kyle and Celia are amazing. Your sister-in-law, I had a lot of fun with her at your birthday down in West Palm Beach, the big 40. We had our girls with us. I wanted to definitely throw a shout out to Jamie and Tracy, and definitely your first cousin Victoria, who's one of my very best friends. And we're so fortunate to have each other. I know, we really are.
Like, it really is. And you know what the nice thing is, Jesse? I mean, you and I have known each other for so long, and all the people you just named, obviously, we have both known for so long. And what I love is that, you know, we all have different things going on in our lives, and we all maybe live, obviously I'm the one that lives, I guess, farthest, but it's like we never skip a beat. Whenever everybody gets back together, it's the same. It's a great time.
True,
and I think
friendship.
we're like probably like so many other friendships that have existed for decades, and it's terrifying we can say decades, but God, we got to say it now.
I mean, you were in New York, and I was in California at the time. Yeah. And it was Inside Edition.
Yeah. That's right.
Is that where you met Eric? Like, how did you meet Eric Trump?
Well, not at Inside Edition, that's for sure. So I moved to New York. I moved to New York in 2007 to go to culinary school. Like, I graduated from college. I went to NC State, and I was like, oh, I did all the things I'm supposed to do. I went to college. I got great grades. I graduated with honors. And I was like, perfect. Like, where's the job for me? And, you know, Jesse, as you recall, it's not like they were just handing out jobs in 2005 whenever I graduated from college. It was a tough time. And so I was a waitress, a bartender, a personal trainer. I worked all of these different jobs. Yep. Right. Like so many people. Although AOC would have you believe it's only her that was a bartender, but neither here nor there. Anyway, I was really frustrated because I was like, well, what happens now? Is this just, I'm just back in my hometown and I'm going to do these jobs for the rest of my life, or is there something else I should try? And I ended up moving to New York to go to culinary school initially, which you mentioned my parents, Bob and Linda Unaska. They were like, that's fantastic. Good luck taking out a student loan because we're not going to pay for that because that sounds a little crazy. Yeah. And I moved to New York, and I met Eric actually probably like 6 months after I moved to New York. We were just out together one night, and it was a night I wasn't even going to go out, but my roommate at the time had a friend in town, and she like begged me to go out.
Come on, I always let's go like, rally. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. And so I was like, And I had no idea who Eric Trump was. I just knew that there was a guy who was taller than I was in this like nightclub where we ended up, and I was wearing heels, and I was like, well, like that could work out. And I guess, as they say, the rest is history. But yes, I had a cake company for like a year and a half post graduating from culinary school. And then I have a degree in communication media and television production. And I worked for 5 years as a booker and then an associate producer at Inside Edition.
So you have busted your buns, girl.
I mean, like, well,
I'm
really a jack of all trades, as they say, apparently.
Wear many hats.
Yes.
Yeah. And, you know, your parents also are, you know, they always throw the coolest flotilla party every year. Such becomes such an annual thing for us. And, but no, I have, you know, the whole thing just went out with, I guess Caitlyn Jenner was down at Mar-a-Lago, and tell me about that. That was pretty interesting. When you sent me that picture, I was like, wow, that's so cool. Because like even your birthday, like you had so many sexual orientations, size, color.
Yeah,
I mean, a little of everybody.
Because it doesn't matter. Like, no, as you know, I judge people based on your character. I really don't care how you look, who you love, what you.
And I would say what you do in your bedroom is your own business.
I want people to be happy, and if you're happiest version of yourself, and it's not obviously harming anyone else, it is to do whatever it is you do. I'm great with that. You do what makes you happy. But I met Caitlyn actually, I think it was last summer. We had a golf tournament at our course in Bedminster, New Jersey. The Live Golf Tournament, as there's been a lot of interesting commentary surrounding, but it is a very cool golf tournament to attend. Highly recommend. And I met Caitlyn there initially. We had a great conversation. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner, before Caitlyn was Bruce, and Bruce
That's when I met him.
Yeah, Bruce was a decathlete, which it basically means you are the greatest athlete in the entire world. And I have always had such respect for especially decathletes and heptathletes because I ran track.
You're a triathlon. I mean,
yeah, well, I do triathlons, but I thought it was so cool. And so we talked a lot about sports and all kinds of stuff last summer. And then we were at an event together a week and a half ago. It's called Make 22-0. There are 22 veteran suicides a day in America, which is so tragic and sad. But of course, they want to take that 22 and make it 0. So we went to this great fundraiser together. And we enjoyed ourselves, had a great time. But yeah, like, I just want to be around nice people.
Yes. And to see that was like inspiring to me because it's like I want the world to know the Laura that I know. And it's amazing because you're like this bionic woman. Like you're a mom, you're a wife, you're all the hats, all the things. I'm just so proud of you. And
thank you.
It's great. We've got a good circle of friends here. It's nice, to see you on here, and you're my very first podcast, so I couldn't.
Am I the first?
You're the first, yes.
Oh my gosh! Well, God, no pressure, Jesse. You got to prepare me if I'm the first. That's amazing. I love it.
We were bouncing off ideas, me, Jody, and Tyler, and I was like, who do we want to get going on this? And I've definitely I've got the Green Compass girls, if they're local here at the CBD. We've got the Glow Med Spa ladies they're going to be on soon. I mean, even Ben Bourgeois, Ben, surfer, Wrightsville Beach, and the list goes on. We've got I'm so lucky. Like we're good. Like we're gonna make this thing happen. And
you got them all lined up. You're ready to go.
Yeah. So, but we were thinking the first one has to be Laura. Has to be.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Well, I'm so honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And listen, I'm here to do anything I can to help a friend and to do what I mean. Look. Who would have ever thought, Jesse, that I would be in a position like this where you would even care to talk to me on a podcast? Let's be honest.
I didn't even know what a podcast was back then. It was called a radio show, is what it was.
I mean, the world is kind of wild. But honestly, I really try to be, and I mean, I didn't have to try. I don't know any other way to be, but the same person I was growing up on Wrightsville Beach in North Carolina, and the same person you've known for so many years, and all of our friends there. And I'm happy to help out anybody I can in any way. And that's so cool. I didn't know it was your first. Well,
yes.
Thank you.
So remotely.
Fun.
So next time you're in town. Well, we were kind of laughing because we're like, we'll have to have her on the 45th episode when we get there.
I see what you did. And 47th.
Yes. Hey, yes. Oh man, it's crazy.
I know, and I'm sad I'm not there because I know that y'all just had Azalea Festival, which for anyone who hasn't been is the greatest. And I haven't been to an Azalea Festival in 150 years, so I really need to get it together.
We need to reach out. You should be the queen one year.
Oh, they're never gonna do that, Jesse. Please. Do you know somebody asked? I was maybe 6 or 7 years ago. It was right after my father-in-law, I think, had just been elected president. And there was some rumbling of that, well, maybe Lara would be an Azalea queen, which, can I tell you, in my wildest dreams as a kid growing up, never thought I would achieve that. Even the comments about it, and maybe it's a possibility.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Kelly
sure
Ripa. Remember when Kelly Ripa was up there? Yes, she was.
Amazed. Yeah, obviously. But they're never going to put me out there because we all know the truth. Our name now, I mean, no matter what happens going forward, I mean, and it's crazy and terrible, but there will be someone who has a problem with it. There will be someone who causes a stink, and they're going to say oh, it's too controversial to have a Trump as the Azalea queen. So I won't hold my breath. But if you want to put in a good word for me,
definitely. So yeah, it's crazy because I was gonna say I wanted to play one little game, and I thought maybe just I shuffled up some cards, and I'm just gonna
love this.
So I was gonna name the names and go down and shuffle them up, and you just have to give one descriptive word of each.
Oh, I thought we were gonna
names.
do Cards Against Humanity, which would not be appropriate. Okay.
I was thinking, the thing is we are really close friends, and it doesn't matter. That's where we're getting at. It's LGBT. You're such a supporter of LGBT. It's just all the rumors that fly around just aren't making sense, and people how. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, can I just say, in terms of the entire conservative and Republican side of the aisle, I think there is a very, very unfortunate misconception that if you are gay or lesbian or transgender or whatever you are, that you cannot be a Republican. You cannot vote for Republicans because there, as with everything, Jesse, there's so many lies that have been told about so much as it relates to the party that I support. And of course, it has nothing to do with any of that. It's nonsense, and people really should kind of look at the policies more so than anything. Or how about just take a step back and look at your life and say, well, are things feeling better for me right now or worse? And that's how you should judge. But anyway, go ahead.
Exactly. No, that's why I wanted to set the record straight, because I'm we've been friends for so long, and I was down in West Palm for your birthday, and there were so many different kinds of people, and it was people aren't getting the right message across with the news, and it's just unfair in so many ways. But that's why I thought having you here, you and I having a chat, people will see it.
Breaking the internet today, it's no big deal.
But obviously. How did the right view come about? How was that whole thing? Yeah.
Well, there it is, right there.
I see
view. So if you think back to right after my father-in-law became president, what typically happens is that, you have a campaign and then that campaign sort of ends after a president is elected. And then like 2 years or so out from the next election, things kind of ramp back up and you got to get your campaign staff together and get the whole thing going. Well, my father-in-law, being the unique operator that he is in the political space, decided, I don't want to shut down my campaign. I want to keep my campaign there. I want to keep a small group of people there and keep things going. We want to still do rallies. We want to still raise money. We want to support great candidates, on the Republican side of the aisle. And so he asked me to kind of head up the campaign and be one of those very few people. I think there were like 5 of us who remained at the campaign after his inauguration. So I did that. And, the problem, you kind of just alluded to it, you don't get the right messaging and the right information from the mainstream media. We all know that. They're telling you what they want you to know, not what you actually need to know, and information that may impact your life. Exactly. And so once my father-in-law became president and he started, making, very positive changes and doing things that were impacting people's lives in a really great way, no one was talking about it. And we said at the campaign, we were like, we should talk about this. We should do like a weekly show and talk about the great achievements of the Trump administration, this week. And so that's what we did. And we started doing that on a weekly basis. And then it kind of evolved into, well, let's do that. But then let's also maybe have guests on. We'll have, people from within the administration. We'll have other politicians. We'll have everyday people to talk about their stories and, how Donald Trump being president has impacted their life. And so it kind of evolved. And then we one day said, let's get a group of the women after the campaign kind of got up and going again. Let's get a group of the women from the campaign together and let's do our own version of The View, but we'll call it The Right View. Because if we're being honest, those women over at The View, like, quite frankly, Jesse, if you want to get dumber, go over and tune into what they're telling you because it's just horrific and they're kind of awful all around. And so we started The Right View. And then after the 2020 campaign, I said, you know what? I want to keep this going. Let's keep rolling with it.
Well, keeping that strong presence. And that's what you're doing. And, you're kicking butt. I'm trying to stay away from the cuss words because they sound so bad when you actually go back and watch yourself.
We would never use those. So
yeah, no.
Obviously.
But I was just obviously I thought maybe it'd be funny to play this little game and just I don't know, just because I was thinking at some point.
So wait, tell me what I need to do.
All right, so I'm just gonna name a name. I shuffled up the cards, and I'm gonna say I have 10 names, and then we'll go through them. You just one word that hits you quick. Okay. Victoria.
Grill.
Kyle.
Mine are so bad. Brother.
Don Jr.
Wild.
Okay, I could see that. Melania.
Elegance.
Okay. Kimberly.
Which Kimberly? Oh, Guilfoyle?
Yes.
Power.
Oh, nice. I love that. Jared.
Kindness.
He's so good looking, too.
Oh.
And then Ivanka.
Oh, gosh. I feel like I have a lot for Ivanka.
a lot of descriptive.
I don't want to use the word like idol, but I feel like she's a person I've always looked up to. That's more than one word.
Maybe an icon.
But icon is good. I could have used that for Melania too, but okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The best dressed. How about that? I mean,
they both do all right.
Well, all of them. Well, you too. I mean, honestly, with Carlos,
God knows
that photo shoot you do with him, I just knocks my socks off when I see you with the photo shoots with him. He's incredible.
Oh yeah,
and
Oscar, he's the best.
Yes.
He makes me look better than I deserve. Yeah.
Oh come on, you look just gorgeous. Tiffany.
Sweet.
Oh, she's sort of the one that's the more low key. More the private one.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of her around, but she keeps it sort of. But she seems, she looks very sweet and kind. And then Donald, of course.
The man.
The man with the plan.
That's 2 words, but he's the man. Like, don't get
man,
any
all caps. Yeah.
Man.
And then Eric.
The best.
Okay, you got 2 more. All right, make this a good one. Linda.
Oh, that's my mom.
I know.
Linda. I mean, I want to say greatest human ever, but obviously that's three words.
Fine.
Greatest human ever.
And the last one is Jessie.
Oh, funny, fun, and a ton of love. I love you so much.
I love you too. Well, thank you. And I thought this would be funny too because I have this little picture. So we want to do a Who Wore It Better with Melania. So check this out. So we've got. This is hysterical.
I'm not high tech enough to have it directly in front of me, so I got to look over here.
No, I'm going to show it to you. All right. So we have Melania. It's like who wore the white boots best? Okay. So we've got.
I hope one is Ron DeSantis.
Melania.
Okay.
How did you know the other one? How did you know?
It's because bless his heart. Yeah. Bless his heart.
Like, oh no.
And Jesse, you know what that means because we grew up in the same place.
Exactly.
Little heart. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to say who wore them better because, I mean, Ron was really rocking those hard.
One more time. And we
just for the people in the back. There it is. Here's the thing: is Casey, his wife?
Hey, we get picked on. We can pick a little bit. I mean,
she's lovely, and I'm like, if Eric Trump walked out of the house with those suckers on, I'd be like, "Yo, you need
turn
to
around." No,
honey, I love you so much, but those are probably not going to work today. I get that he was in like some sort of like a flood situation. It was like a hurricane disaster area.
It's not very nice then. That's me.
But I knew when you said the white boots. I thought, see, you should have done that. You should have said white boots. Who comes to mind? I would have said Ron DeSantis.
See, I'm learning. I'm learning. I have a lot to learn. But yeah, tell us a little bit more about Melania. I mean, not just being. I mean, she's just she's fascinating to me. Like, I mean, she does keep it low key, but when she comes out, it's like boom. I mean, it's like holy smokes.
But that's what's important is because she knows exactly how to handle it all, and it's actually amazing to watch. She's incredible, and she really doesn't give people a lot. So whenever she gives you anything, I mean, people are there for it, and they want it, and they're very interested. And I don't think people look. There obviously a lot of people who voted for my father-in-law see her and give her a lot of credit and say, "Oh, what a great first lady she was," and this and that. But if people, who didn't vote for my father-in-law actually take a step back and really are honest about it, I mean, they put her through a lot, and what a strong woman she actually is, because a lot of people couldn't have taken all that she had coming at her at all times while she was in the White House, post White House, heck, everything going on now. And she handled herself with such, I use the word elegant, with such elegance and grace. Mm-hmm. And I think what a great role model for young women to see. Young women who
classiness, because it's out the door.
Working out there on TikTok and I mean all this stuff and just trying to be as raunchy as possible. That is who you should want to emulate, is a woman like Melania Trump.
Holds herself exquisite.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, we'll never have a more beautiful first lady ever in the history of America. And the fact that she wasn't on the cover of every single magazine is a travesty. And people at Vogue and Cosmopolitan and all those magazines ought to be ashamed of themselves because they really missed the mark.
Well, she's beautiful, and I did get to have one little hello with her at your birthday, and that really made my whole trip. But,
hey, I thought you were coming down for me. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course I was. The pictures explain it. The
pictures do.
The video of me, I had a blast. I think I had more fun than everybody was the problem. But no, we did. It was fun. I can't wait to come back down there and see you. And obviously, New York is one of my favorite places on the planet.
Let's hope it's still standing the next time you come.
I've been to your apartment a couple times in New York, and it's nice. And you have very, very. I love that part of New York City. Like that's like it's just.
It's
nice.
Maybe it used to be a great area. I hope one day it will become a great area again.
Oh,
you're
God.
not? Okay, good for you.
I haven't. No, I said I haven't been there in so long. So I don't know. But I do want to show you. Don't move. I got to show you one thing.
Okay.
I haven't been to the Penthouse in a while. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
So I had this awful situation where I was robbed. Somebody stole something very important from me. That Elizabeth Taylor kissed the stationery and all the whole thing.
Yeah.
And after that got taken, I was like, you know what? I'm getting rid of all the things that are really, really worth money and things that, that mean that much to me because it could happen at any time.
High value items, get them out.
Yeah, get them out. So you get people you're drinking and they make bad decisions and whatever and so forth and so on. So I had on the wall now, I have all the pictures of me with certain celebrities I threw events for or met when I was in LA or wherever else. And
that's fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I worked at the Abbey, that's where I met Caitlyn when Bruce.
Oh.
So that's how, and I was on the Kardashians that I think the first season or second season.
Did I know that? I didn't even know.
I don't know. It was 100 years ago.
That's a show that I feel like I'm like really behind on all that. I don't watch any of the Housewives
I don't watch any.
stuff.
Me too. I have no idea what's going on.
And everybody's talking about it, and I'm like, I don't even know who that is. But
hey, I've had
I'm
like
the worst.
a couple of failed reality pilots. We've tried it over and over with Dick Clark, with Bravo, with ABC. And, that's why I thought we'll just go into this podcast direction and see what happens. But, I'm giving it one more go doing this. We've got some great interviews lined up. Obviously, you being the first. And
Main voyage right here.
I mean, let's do it. I need some more Ricola because I think it's dry. You're like, help me. So look at this.
Wait, what is happening here? Oh! My God, why do I look like such a giant? Holy Lord.
No, in your defense, you were on a bit of a hill. Remember, it was on Market Street.
Can I say something? So also in my defense, if I recall, I'm wearing heels.
We need one more defense. And heels.
I'm wearing heels, and you and Victoria are in flats. So like, and do you know the story about Victoria? Okay, so Victoria, who is my cousin and literally
person.
Like my sister because we grew up together and I only have one brother, Kyle, who Jesse mentioned earlier. The crazy story about Victoria is like back in the day when we used to go out, if I was going to pick her up and I saw her walk out of her parents' house with flats on and I was in heels, I was like, absolutely not. You turn back around. You go put some heels on because I'm not going to look like this freak walking around because Victoria and I are 1 foot different. I'm 5'11" and she's 4'11". So when I got heels on and I'm like 6'3" and Victoria's rolling in at 4'11", I'm like, no, ma'am, we're not doing that. So
but the thing is I have me and Bill, the mayor, above. He's right above you. I have Nene Leakes right above you, and I have Gerard Butler underneath you.
Oh
so
my
it's
gosh.
like I have a nice variety on that wall.
Wow.
Over there, I got Paris Hilton, the Black Eyed Peas, Lauren Conrad, Jenna Jameson, and then Lady Gaga.
Wow.
So it's when you wait till you come back up here.
I'm very honored to be considered. Thank you.
She really that tall? Like no, in her defense, she really was in heels, and she's on a hill. She is standing on a hill. So
I'm gonna let's do a new photo.
Okay.
And I will frame this sucker for you, Jesse. So I don't look like such a giant freak in there. But
no, you do not. It's not possible.
Well,
Well, listen. What else you got going on today? What's your next big thing? Like, are you okay? One more thing before I forget.
Oh, wait, go ahead.
So many things. So there were rumors about maybe you running for senator at some point. What's is that just a rumor, or is that there a little bit of truth to that?
Well, crazier things have happened, like Donald Trump becoming president. No, actually, I was honestly considering running for Senate. There was an open Senate seat in North Carolina last midterm election cycle in 2022. Ted Budd ultimately won that seat, who is a Republican, so that was a very positive thing. And he was also endorsed by my father-in-law. And a lot of people started talking about it and talking to me about it. And these are like people who would know. You
should totally do it.
Here's the thing, and I'll
be on the bus for that. I'll be on the bus like I can't wait.
I would love to have done it, but honestly, my kids were just too little. They were 2 and 4 at the time, or kind of like 1 and 3 when I first started thinking about it. And anyone who knows me knows I am a very hands-on mom.
Yes, you are.
I mean, I try to do it all. I probably try to do too much, and I don't even know. I don't.
So it's like, how does she do it? I was like, how? Like literally, like I know that's been such an expression. People say, how does she do it? But literally, like not like the mom, the wife. I mean, the triathlons. Being hands-on with your entire family. You're such a family woman, and that's something people should look up to. And
thank you.
It's great to see you.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know any other way to do it. To be honest with you, it's what comes naturally to me. And I'm very lucky that I have help whenever I need it. But there's nothing like a mom or dad for children. And I know that. And I know that because I had a great mom and dad who raised me and my brother Kyle. And it's just what comes naturally to me. And I would never let anyone else raise my kids. And when I thought about running for Senate, I knew that I could not be the type of mom for my kids that they need right now and be the type of senator had I been elected for North Carolina.
The community would need for you.
That I would need to be. So
who knows
ultimately,
what the future has.
Yeah, I didn't do it this round, but never say never.
Hey, we had when you were pregnant with Luke, we had his baby shower here.
Yes, right there. I know.
At the Penthouse, right here.
I know.
Yeah.
We
oh my
sure
God,
did.
they're so adorable, Carolina. I can't. She just cracks me up.
Thank you.
Well, I know you got to run. And do you have any shout outs? Do you want anything you want to ask me?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, you just told us who you're having on. Why did you decide to do the podcast? I'm curious because I love it.
With the reality things, it was like getting to where, we did the whole Bravo thing right before COVID. I mean, we wrapped. We had all the things ready to go. I mean, and we had the yacht club. We had all these things. And, it was just like this whole podcast thing's coming up. And I do know a lot of great, wonderful people that I want to bring on and share their lives. And so people can really get to know them on a different side of them than they probably just know from TV or from the public or whatever, but just a different side of them that are my friends and people I care about. And I love shooting the shit. Like, I just love doing that. And it's fun. And gives us all a chance to.
Well,
really,
you're great. I mean, this is like it's like you've been doing this 100 years. So I mean, you're very good.
I've had a little practice, but we'll see.
Well, the only thing I would say is I have a show 3 days a week. Sometimes we do 4, The Right View, as we discussed earlier. TheRightView.com if anyone's interested. And it's going to be an interesting, I'm going to say next 18 months or so. By the fall, we'll have some primary Republican debates. Joe Biden's officially in the race now. So I guess that's who we're running against. And I say we as an entire party. But it'll be an interesting time. So we're going to have a lot going on. But I'm excited. I was your maiden show. Thank you so much.
Are. Well, tell Eric I said hello because he's such a great guy. And I do enjoy his company when I see him. And I'll, your parents live right down the street from me. So
I know.
Me, Victoria, we're all in the hood.
I know. My mom's coming in like a week and a half, though. So my kids are really jazzed up about it. They love when Mimi comes to visit. So it's the best.
Well, I love you very much.
I love you too. Thank you.
And we'll talk soon. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.